Okay, welcome back to our X8 talkthrough. We're going to go into the final stage here. Final stage has a fun middle section, and then I guess you'd really write it off to a few annoying bosses at the end. There's actually a little bit of a sequence that you have to follow on the initial Vile fight in the stage as well. So the stage takes its sweet time loading. You open it up just kind of flying over everything. The way I remember kind of being told about this is you're looking for the second flamethrower guy, like that one. And when you see that, that's around the time you can start to let go. I mean, you figure out the timing for it. Don't fly over that wall. You'll fly into unloaded space and have to pause to quit the stage and restart it. So, Vile, with his mech. A simple triple slash will knock him off the mech. From there, I believe you go with 2 cycles of iframes, and then you put him on ice, which for 0 is his up special move while standing. So get him off, 1, 2, he's invincible, 1, 2, he's invincible, ice. And repeat. When he jumps in the air, just dash under him. It's easy. Well, I guess you can't do it here. That's how you open the fight. This is how you 2-cycle Vile. And if 0 doesn't move when he lands, you know you did it. If you go to a 3rd cycle, you haven't really lost anything except time. You just continue that same attack sequence. So this stretch, this is actually like normal stage and platforming coming up here, except we can fly a 0. So there's really not much to what you're seeing here outside of knowing the sword fly glitch, which again, just hold up when you push down to start flying. So you kind of get all the way over here, go up and over. This is a zigzaggy section. You are actually killing this guy from below in the previous little bit. Escape button, please. So when you get here, there's a little bit of a fly there. You can do just a normal air dash to get through this room. There's also a little bit of health up there, I think. Oh, there's the air dash. That room's a little scary. So a lot of the rest of this, you can already see how much lag is being generated here. So what you just saw there is kind of important, right? You get through the 2 Sigmas over here. They're kind of annoying. One of them, though, shoots you with these purple balls. Shoutouts to X2. This health is very nice. Make sure you don't get bopped into the pit that's here. Because when you come down here, you want to land kind of with this pillar. Everything to the left below this platform is a pit. So this room is actually a pair of rooms. There's another one on the right side here. And you're supposed to kind of go back and forth between this room and the room immediately to the right to get up here. What we're going to do is we're going to air dash over, mine the spikes. And really, we're looking for about this quote-unquote tile. Fly. There was actually some health down here that we were actually close enough to it. We picked it up. You can get that if you want it. This is another jump where it's possible to do it in one air dash, or you could fly into this corner. The air dash obviously is slightly faster. The fly obviously safer. This door, the game's taking its sweet, sweet time loading. I'm stepping back and forth there because that door likes to not open unless you're actually moving. So that's something to keep in mind. There is a trick here where you can go underneath it and get into Sigma's loading zone from an awkward spot, and then the fight never actually starts, but you're standing in the boss room. I'm mostly mentioning that so that if it becomes something bigger one day, it's known. Other than that, you just kind of dash up here. There's Big Sig. He has a slightly bigger life meter than most, but falls into the same trap as every other boss in this game. These rings you can kind of dash through, and actually, okay, yeah, for the first half of this fight, we're using zero, we're using jump slashes. So right around here, Sigma grabs you, and it forces you to call in your partner, which is X. If you're playing this game on hard mode, whoever kills Vile is actually unavailable for the entire stage up until this point. So I guess if you're playing the game on hard, make sure you kill Vile with X. Either way, you get here, and you can already see it. We switched to Sigma's weakness. This is the one boss in the game you really are going to use the weakness. This is mostly because with X, it's a lot easier to hit him with this attack, and it's kind of annoying to dodge these rings of zero, and we want to just straight up keep zero healthy. So we're going to let X tank this fight. X is actually really good in this fight. Sigma also likes to put up a energy barrier. You'll see this like pink sparkle in front of him. And what you can do for that is you can have X have the full charge to break that shield, and then immediately use the Sunflower's weapon. The thing about this from there, right, you can hold the charge. This goes back to the opening statement I had about the crab boss, right? You can hold a buster charge and use a special weapon without using the buster charge. So you want to actually hold a charge and only fire, I don't even know what this weapon is called, but only fire fireworks until you actually need the buster. And you get a pretty good rate of fire here. So like, go nuts with it. Sigma does not really have a desperation attack. That pink was, again, that's the shield we were worried about. Sigma's sword does a fair amount of damage. He likes to do these triple slash sequences in the final phase. If Lumine is to be believed, that is the death of Sigma. The actual death of Sigma. I don't believe him. So, now we get to fight not Sig. So Lumine's shtick is he basically only flies around the room, and he uses those desperation attacks exclusively. What you're basically doing for this fight, first you're going to switch to zero, which A, lets X heal. B, you start getting the double slashes in like crazy. These orbs basically match up with the colors you should have noticed on the teleporter room teleporters. So whenever he has one of them, you can actually use that Maverick's weakness against Lumine, and that is for that point in time Lumine's weakness. The exception being Burn Rooster and Avalanche Yeti. He's invincible when he's using those attacks. There is a definite sequence to this. Sometimes it gets thrown off at the very end, and I have a feeling that's based on when you actually knock him into the third phase. But it's pretty easy no matter which one you end up with to know what to do. So in comes zero, double slash, double slash, double slash. He likes these figure eights. Sometimes he goes around the entire bottom of the screen. Just don't get bodied by him, right? I believe, yeah, he opens with this. You could probably try using Black Hole here, but I mean, the double slash just works so well, why bother? So this is the Yeti Snowflakes. Like I said, sometimes he flies around the entire bottom of the screen. Just keep attacking him, be relentless. This will always be Mantis. Weakness is, again, Sunflower, so for zero, that is the attack. Lumine's down to his last third of life, so here's some fire. So usually at this point, you either get the Sunflower final attack, or you get, I think I've seen Bamboo Pandemonium. More often than not, I see Gravity Antonian here. So again, Spin is actually the weakness. So have fun. That's really all you're doing in that fight, though. That. So after that, one more sequence. It is possible here. Basically, Lumine's attacks again are kind of timed to how much damage you're doing. He also always figures out. I mean, he always finishes the attack he's in, and he'll often enter extremely long periods of iframes as a result of being forced to have so much life left and still finish an attack. So there are 3 attacks you want to skip if you're doing as much damage as possible. I've very rarely gotten all 3. I think I only get 2 here. If you're watching the video from Summer Games Done Quick 2015, Satoryu actually gets all 3 of them. So you can check that out if you want to see what they all look like. We're going to kind of go through this for now. He immediately swoops at you. Again, you don't want to use the spin to trigger more iframes, so start slashing. You're going to see this sort of weird laser attack here. It's a lot of jumping. Don't play games with Zero's health in this fight, by the way. You want both characters alive at the end of it. So if you get that phase, you should be skipping the ring, which is what you really want to do. You kind of see the jumping here to avoid this crisscross attack. I'll be amazed if I actually did get all the cycle skips here. But I don't think I did. I skipped a vertical sort of spike attack here. He does this same sort of style of thing, but with like vertical spikes like that here. These aren't actual kill you spikes, they just damage you. But this is really all you do in either case, just avoid it. Take some pot shots at him to see if you can get him out of it, but yeah. So again, do as much damage as you can. This one, I know it's funny, I talked about it. This one actually skips the 3rd phase. I very often usually get to see a 3rd attack there. So this one actually skipped all 3, so there you go. So the final phase here, he turtles up. The way to break him out of this is to hit him 3 times with a piercing attack. So fortunately, we have Zero with the spear. So if this goes well, 1, 2, we gotta do a 3rd one there. Now, this is kind of RNG as he teleports around, and can you actually break it out? This is also timed. You're on a timer here. And if you do this part of the fight too slowly, you just die. It's over. And you have to start all the way back from Lumine 1. Zero, the fastest way to win this fight actually is to have Zero do this and do jump slashes, just like everything else in the game. Because you're on a timer, this is the one part of the game I would highly recommend just going and using the team attack. This ends the game. This is also sort of the explanation of, no, time does not end on your last input because that's your last input. Time ends on the boss exploding. There is the possibility that you end up here with X alone, though, if Zero's been knocked out and you're here with just X. If you're on the X route, you're actually not even bothering to use Zero here. You're just using X's Laser of Destiny before using his normal attacks. If you have quote-unquote naked X, he doesn't have armor, and he doesn't have any buster upgrades at all for quick charges. X trying to charge all the way up to pierce through that multiple times, it just does not work. You're not going to have enough time to finish the fight. If you are here with X, and I have a separate highlight of this for fighting him with X alone. Actually, let me see if I could pull it up, because this really is the end of the game. Let's end the game and I'll go to it. But you want to use Bamboo Pandemonium's weapon, because it counts as a piercing attack. Yep, and that's time. So you kind of skip ahead. You hit start through the credits, by the way, because I believe it counts that time, and save, and your in-game time is only accurate to the minute. So you give me a moment here. I don't have anything up. I just need a blank screen, really. Well, I go back here. Because I have to scroll all the way back to like 2015 highlights, and it's 2016 right now. I have way too much Mario World Tournament sitting around here. Keep this clip kind of open on the side. Wow, this is from 2014. Alright, so this is a separate highlight. The funny thing about this highlight is I'm actually still using W split in it. Shout out to W split. So here's one of those ring attacks we didn't get to see. Pretty easy to get through it. So here's the trick. You're going to end up going through 2 cycles of needing to crack the shell here. And you only have 6. Actually, this is obviously a different save file because I have full weapon energy here for X. So that's good for experimenting, but no armor upgrades, right? So you can use the 1 charge and some missiles, right? And now it's Lemon City. And right around there, he decides to shell up again. So 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's not even that. I guess I decided I really did want to end this, right? So that's that. That's how you win with just X. Unbelievable. Yeah, so that does kind of cut it really close on the timer, but it can be done. One other thing. We hope I'm on the right frame here. So let's see, where are we in this video? This is a really long video trying to do it. This is your Easter egg. So you keep flying up from under the stage here because there is no pit if you go over the wall, and you inevitably just pop out in Sigma's room. See, Zero's even still looking right as it would be. Sigma's on his throne and won't actually do anything. Most weapons don't actually hurt him, although somewhat comically, the Shadow Hunter or whatever this is actually does hit. It hits him, but it dinks. This is a bad skip, and that doesn't actually do anything. You can hit him with the red armor's Giga attack. And 2 hits will actually take you straight to the midpoint. The first. It skips the first sequence of the fight. It takes an exceptionally long amount of time to skip the first sequence of the fight and all the dialogue. So it's probably not worth doing, but I just want to throw out there that it exists. Alright, that's the end of talking about X8. I hope this proves useful to somebody. But that is the run. The run we talked through was an hour, mid 106. The summer game's done quick runs. I have the 105.56. Satoru has the 106.02. Satoru in the practice room with many of the same strats that I have in that run, except also throwing in the 3 cycle skip got like a 105.30 something in the practice room. So certainly some room to improve. There you go, folks. All right.